All right, let's take a look at number 11. Number 11 is a unique one because we got negative 8/10 minus 4 2/5 times 6. So this is kind of a trick. I'm going to work this one out over here. What we got here is, if you can think of a number line, right? I am at negative 8/10, which is negative 1. Here's 0. I am about right here at negative 8/10, right? And I'm going to go back 4 2/5 6 times. So me going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and every single jump is 4 2/5. So I'll end up somewhere over here in the negative 20, maybe 7 land, right around there. This is roughly, approximately around there. I think this is too short, but I'm somewhere in this area, and I already know by the line underneath that this is my answer. So let me show you how I get that answer. But I'm using the number lines to just kind of give me an idea of where I'm going to end up. The fact that I'm moving back from this 8/10 4 2/5 6 times. Okay, so at the end of the day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 4 2/5 times 6, get that value, tack on an extra 8/10 to it, I'm sorry, and I'm going to get that 27 and 2/10. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply 4 times 6, because it's a distributive property, things like that. I'm going to get that 24. This is 4 2/5. There's an and in here, which means it's a plus. So plus 2/5 times 6. So the question is, how do I multiply this? So if you already know that it's going to be 12 over 5, you're in good shape, right? But that's great. So if you're a student watching this and you know that 6 times 2 is 12, and you just leave it over the 5, you're there. So I'm going to pretend you can multiply this, and I'm going to say, well, this is 5 over 5 plus 5 over 5 plus 2/5, because the 5 plus 5 is 10 plus 2 is a 12. And then common denominator, we learned this in 4th grade, it stays 5. So these extra 2, right here becomes a 1 plus a 1, makes this a 26 and 2/5. So ultimately, I got to be able to give me that number. Right? What is that, and how do I add it, and so on. A bunch of different ways to get to that one. So I'll stop that one there. Here, this part, I have students that struggle with this, right? And so different ways to do this one. I can do with fraction bars, fraction circles, and so on. So I'm going to draw fraction bars, and I'm only going to draw 4 of them, and I'm going to cut them into fifths, and they're not going to be pretty, but they're 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and I'm going to draw 4 only because I don't know how many I'm going to need, and I'm going to use my highlighter to help me get an answer. I need 2/5 6 times. 1 2, that's one of them. 3 4, right? That's another 2/5. That's another one. That's 2. Another 2/5. That's 3. Another 2/5. That's the 4th one. Another 2/5. That's the 5th one times 5. And another 2/5. That's the 6th. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 equal groups of 2/5, which is 2 wholes and then 2/5. That's where I got this 2 wholes and then that 2/5 to give me that 26 and 2/5. So the other thing I want to do now is that 26 and 2/5, I'm going to rewrite it as 26 and 4/10. You're asking why, Mr. Palomine? Well, that 2/5, if I multiply times 2, I get 4/10, and I can talk about adding that 8/10. Because what this means, 8/10. And then I just got to add that up, which is 12/10, which is 10/10 plus 2/10. And there's my extra 1. So this becomes 27, and my 2/10, which is a 27 and 2/10 right there. So a bunch of different ways to kind of take a look at this one. However you want to add it, it's up to you. But I'm just kind of giving you that little bit of a picture, kind of mindset of the number line, kind of letting you know, hey, we're going to go backwards from this point. So you know you're somewhere in the 20s. I don't think for me, honestly, I think the 30 was too far to the left anyways, right, to go that way. And so that helps you out a little bit. Great. So I would definitely do some kind of picture for this one. And then that kind of thinking, making everything to tenths. So I have a mix of fractions and decimals there also you can look at.